Okay, let's come to you first then, Mike. So just tell us a little bit, just to remind those people, because we've talked to you about the cadets before, but just for those that don't know, just tell us a little bit about the cadets.
So the cadets are a group of young people that we take on every 2 years. It's a 2-year scheme. And what we try to do is they help us and we help them with life skills. They teach us a little bit about what the youth's beliefs are on the island. And we work together to the betterment of the island. We run charity events, assist local charities. We work in the community whilst learning about the police. Do the Duke of Edinburgh Gold Award, open water rescue certificates, first aid certificates. Do quite a bit.
Just from your point of view then, what do you hope that the cadets sort of get out of this whole experience?
The cadets, I'm hoping, will learn lots of life skills, communication, how to react to situations, how to deal with other people, which is something that obviously is a skill set we hold close to ourselves. They're a great bunch of young people. We learn as much from them as they do from us, and it is quite uplifting when you see what they achieve. We're quite quickly, we point at young people and blame them for a lot of things these days. So it's nice for us to see and promote the good that they do on the island as well. So
and also giving them a perspective on the police force that they might not have previously had.
Yeah, so we're damned if we do, we're damned if we don't, sometimes. And so it's about explaining why we do what we do sometimes, because it can be perceived by the members of the public that the police are doing this wrong, and everybody always has an opinion. So it's just about why we do what we do and explaining that to them, so that gives them an understanding of why we do what we do.
Great stuff. Well, let's come to these cadets then. So B, you're first on my screen here. I'm going to come to you first. First of all, do you mind me asking how old you are?
I'm 14.
And how did you first hear about the cadets?
It was just an assembly at my school, and I think Mike was there talking about it. I just thought it'd be a nice opportunity.
What was it that kind of attracted you to it? What did he say that made you think, yeah, I want to have a go at that?
I'm not sure. I don't know. It sounded fun, and like you would learn a lot. And I think he had cadets with him at the time from my school who like I used to know, and they just seemed like so much more confident. And I thought it would be, it would be something nice to try and see if I could be like that.
So how long have you been in the cadets so far?
Since September.
And have you noticed yourself changing in a similar way to like you saw your friends changing?
I'd like to hope so. I think I'm a little bit more confident, but I mean, it's something you can always work on.
Mike, have you seen this in the new cadets since they've been part of it? You must see changes in them as they go through the course.
Sometimes it's quite dramatic. And at the end of the 2 years, a lot of the parents will come up to me and say what a difference their young person has gone through, what a change. It does, and I do see it myself, a dramatic change in them. And they don't tend to notice themselves. It's quite strange. It has been difficult over the last 6 months with COVID being on and off and on and off. But yeah, things are starting to really gel now, and we're moving forward at a pace. Yeah, so yeah, I have, definitely. Yeah.
So Lucy, I'm going to come to you now then. Why did you want to be a cadet?
I wanted to join because, well, Mike came into our school and he did a lesson about drugs with my life skills class, and I just thought he had good charisma, and it really made me want to join because he made it sound so fun, and I just wanted to learn more about everything that he was doing.
And what have you learned so far then? Is there anything that sort of surprised you about being a cadet?
We've done a lot about stop and search, and we've done quite a lot about the law recently online, and it's just been really interesting to find out what's actually specified under the law, and what you can be arrested for, and what's actually a crime. And yeah,
that sort of ties in a bit, I think, with what Mike was saying about the image of the police force and maybe what young people think about the police. Has your own sort of perception of the police changed since you've been a cadet?
Yeah, it has quite a lot, because before I thought, the police, they get a lot of bad press. The media likes to pick up on a lot of the awful stuff that happens, and I think that a lot of the time the police are just trying to do their best and trying to do what they can to protect people. And at the end of the day, when something goes wrong, you do turn to the police, and I think that it's important that they're there.
Very true. And Mary, I'm going to come to you now. So how have you enjoyed your experience in the cadets so far?
It's been like really interesting. We've been co-steering, we've done patrolling and all that. It's been like eye-opening to see, like, to go through a police's mind, or yeah, it's been interesting.
And is this something that you think you might want to do in the future then? Would you like to stay on this course?
I think it's been a while. I think I want to do like medicine maybe. So, but it's really interesting to see like the police view.
So in the bits and pieces that you've been doing, you mentioned co-steering there. I mean, that sounds like great fun, as well as, sort of a great skill and activity to be involved with. What would you say are some of the sort of skills that you've learned so far?
I've learned how to better communicate with the public, because when we were patrolling, we had to talk to people and see, what people's behaviors are. We've also learned how to project ourselves.
So do you sort of follow with what Bea was saying about confidence? Has it sort of increased your confidence?
Yeah, it has. I'm proud to be a police cadet, so walking with confidence.
Oh, that's fab. And Bea, I'm going to come back to you now. So just tell us how your friends have reacted to you being in the cadets.
It's been mixed. I mean, most of my friends are very supportive people, but you do get the occasional comment about it, about being, like a snitch, I guess. But like it's generally been positive.
Mike, you're laughing at that. I suppose that's the thing, because actually it's quite impressive that young people at this time in their lives, which is a challenging time, that age group, isn't it? It is interesting that they are happy to put themselves in this position.
Massively so. And one thing that we do clearly state to all the young people when they first come in is, I am not Fagin. I do not expect any of them to come in and tell me about any criminal activities that their friends are getting up to. That is not something that this scheme is designed for. We're not trying to infiltrate the schools. It is difficult for the young people who be put in that position. But when you join the job, that is part and parcel of it. You'll get certain people that are quite horrified the fact that you've become a police officer. But as we always say, are those people really your friends? Because they're not supporting you with the decision you've made. And I have to say, in my career, I've had nothing but positivity from people. It's everybody that knows me knows what I do. And they stop me and say, it's nice to hear thank you from them every now and then. And I get very, very little negativity. But I'm certainly not Fagin.
I'm just trying to work out which one of you guys would be the Artful Dodger. So Lucy, I'll come back to you then. So with regards what Mike was just saying there and what we were just saying, it is a tricky time age-wise anyway, with you guys being teenagers and going through everything you go through, but particularly at this time, isn't it, with going through this pandemic and going through another lockdown. How have you found that yourself?
With going through a lockdown, I found it to be quite challenging. I really struggle to work from home for school, but I think having the cadets and having a call every Tuesday and Thursday has been like a little rainbow in the sky, and it's just brightened up all my days. And I think having them there and knowing that I've got something to be working on and something to be aiming for, and like a bigger goal has really kept me going through the lockdown.
That's really nice to hear. And what are some of your life goals then, Lucy? What do you want to be?
I actually, it's quite unclear what I want to be. I'm still trying to figure it out. I'm still just going along with what I enjoy and trying to find a path for myself.
I do think it's too young to have to decide what you want to be in the rest of your life until you're at least 30.
Well, to be fair, Christy, it's nice to hear them in a way saying that they don't want to come into the police. We have had an awful lot of cadets who've gone on to policing, to volunteer, Coast Guard, Civil Defence here on the island. We have had that. They've all gone on to do amazing things, but the scheme is not designed for that. It's not designed so that they can come straight into the police. If they want to, it really will help them. But as we said, the life skills that they learn from being in and around this arena is going to push them further anyway, in whatever they choose. And this group of cadets, as of the other group of cadets, they're capable of whatever they want to achieve. They really are good young people.
And Mary, I'm going to come back to you then. If you were to try and convince some of your friends to think about the cadets in the future, what would you say to them?
I would tell them that it's a really good opportunity. Like, if you can, try to go for it, because like you learn so much. It's an eye-opening experience. I would tell them that it's not a waste of time. Like, it's not a waste of energy. It really, like, the energy you put in, it comes out, you know.
How long do you have to give to being a cadet? How much time do you give to it?
Well, on Thursdays we give 2 hours, and then like if we do something extra out of the cadet times, like for example this, you know, the radio, yeah, that'll be a bit more, so like a couple of hours, and like, yeah.
Oh, I love the fact that I'm seen as being one of your challenges.
It is, you know, they have been a little bit nervous.
So Mike, obviously at the moment, again, lockdown is a bit different, obviously. So you're not able to do all of the things you would normally do with the cadets, but what sort of things, we've heard some of the things that they've been doing. What sort of things can they do during a lockdown?
Well, to be fair, they've done it, a lot of the stuff they've done themselves. They've done a walk for cancer research. That was their idea. They've just raised nearly £800 for cancer research that they've done, which was, you know, one of them came up with the idea. I think it was Jess came up with the idea. There we go. Let's do that, everybody, and they all joined in together as a team. We've been doing a meeting every Thursday and every Tuesday evening, and we've been doing online learning, which I particularly prefer hands-on teaching rather than the teaching online. But we managed to plan for our next big event, which is something that they're going to, again, it's their idea, their choice of what to do, which charity to support, and how we're going to do it. The planning is down to them. So we have kept the ball rolling somewhat. I'm really looking forward to coming out of lockdown so we can do go play on the mountains and, with the Sarda dogs, and you know, do more role plays in relation to and why we arrest people, why we do what we do. But they've got quite a few ideas about what we're going to be doing when we come out of lockdown. As I said, this charity event that they've got planned, I think, is it's a really good one. They've come up with a blinder.
Are you allowed to tell me about that? And if so, which one of you is going to tell me? Go on,
Oh,
Lucy.
God,
You
no
look like you're about to speak, Lucy. Go on, tell us about it.
Okay. What we're doing is we are spending a night on the streets to raise money for GRI, which is a homeless charity on the island. So we're going homeless for a night to raise awareness and raise money, because it's such an invisible issue on the island, but it is an issue, especially now with coronavirus everywhere. Like we're told to self-isolate, but some people don't have places to self-isolate, and it's just, especially with the winter and everything that we've just had, it's been really cold and nasty, and it's just really important to raise awareness for something that people just don't think is happening. So what we're doing is we are all the cadets, we're spending a night sleeping rough in Douglas on, we think it's going to be around the 22nd of May, and we're going to attempt to raise money through giving assemblies in our schools, and we're gonna try and sponsor some teachers, hopefully, to come out and stay with us. Yeah, and it's gonna be a really like team building experience and a really, really worthwhile cause, I think.
That is a fantastic idea. And B, this is a perfect example as well of how in doing this, in being a cadet, you're learning about your environment on the island as well, and what other people might have to deal with that you may not have realized was an issue before now. Has some of what you've learned in that respect been kind of interesting and surprising to you?
Yeah, definitely. I think with GRI, I mean, a couple other cadets came up with the idea for this charity event, and we learned about the charity in that, and it's something I think a lot of people don't realize, that it's an issue on the island.
Yeah. So again, perfect example, Mike, of how they're learning about all sorts, and they're going to take this forward with them in their lives, which is fantastic. So if anyone is interested in applying to be a cadet, and obviously we're speaking to these lovely girls here, but I assume there's more of a sort of gender split, isn't there? Anyone can kind of apply to be a cadet, can't they?
They can. Anybody can apply to be a cadet. It is a 2-year plan, so we are going to be. We've still got a bit of time with these guys yet, and other things that we're going to be undertaking. But yeah, we do. We have a list of people. Last time it was we had over 100 people apply for 16 positions, and it was really difficult because some of the applications were fantastic. In fact, all of them were of a high standard, which goes somewhat to show what we have here on the Isle of Man with young people. So we're going to be a little while with these guys. They've got to do their Duke of Edinburgh Gold yet. They've got to do their swimming in the sea in December. We've got another charity that's been in touch with us to do with Foxy from SAS. Are You Tough Enough? We're going to be doing some work, hopefully, with them on the island. We've got a lot on our plates, a lot going forward. But if anybody can apply, anybody wants to have an understanding of what it is, send us an email at headquarters, or just put a phone call in and I'll get back to them. Most people see me around the schools anyway, at me or Paddy. So if you're interested, just stop us and have a chat, or speak to one of the cadets. I'm sure they're more than happy to talk to about what they do, what they get up to. So yeah, they're probably our best ambassadors.
Oh, it's such an awesome scheme. I think it's brilliant what you're all doing, and I'm so glad to see how much you're getting out of it. Even during a lockdown, you're clearly getting so much out of it. But if I see any of you coming for me to arrest me, I am going to run the other way. I'm just letting you know.
We got you last time. So yeah.
I got away with it, actually, although there are 2 people approaching me with a pair of handcuffs. We're back
We
on
really
Monday.
are being
Alex
arrested,
listening back at the
genuinely.
Christy! 5 minutes!